Hey guys, what's up? My name is Miss Moreno and I am a teacher at Moreno High School. Here I teach Spanish 1 and 2, and Mr. Terry and I, we wanted to make these 10 minutes of teacher time videos to introduce ourselves, build those 21st century relationships with students, and to kind of talk a little bit about what our philosophy on teaching is, and to start a conversation with a larger teacher sphere out there.
My name is Mr. Terry and I'm also a teacher at Moreno High School in Marina, California. And today we'll be discussing basically how we became teachers in the first place and how our paths eventually ended up leading together and settling in Marina, or us deciding to do this or take this journey on together.
So I got to Marina High. Well, I'm originally from Marina. I grew up here in this community, and I went to J.C. Crump. I went to Los Arblos and Seaside High School. Then after that, I graduated and went to UC Berkeley. Go Bears! I studied at UC Berkeley with Marshawn Lynch and Aaron Ross, and then I taught in San Diego for 4 years. So after that, I took a year off and did this really cool road trip all around the United States. I visited 38 states in 8 months and spent 44 days in Puerto Rico. It was awesome. And then I landed in my community here in Marina, and I was actually supposed to go to Ecuador for a year and work in the jungle without any electricity, but I really wasn't ready for that. I was having fun hanging out with my family, and then I saw a few jobs available here at Marina High, and I was like, yeah, I want to work in my community. And so anyway, that's how I wound up here at Marina High School.
My name is Mr. Terry. I'm originally from Plainfield, New Jersey, and I ended up going to East Stroudsburg State in the Poconos of Pennsylvania to get my dual certificate in health and phys ed. After teaching in New Jersey for 4 years, I was utilizing my time traveling in the summer and on breaks all over the country because I knew I eventually wanted to leave New Jersey. And once I discovered California, that kind of became where I wanted to end up settling. But I ended up finishing up in New Jersey, specifically at a high school in my hometown. Shout out to Plainfield, New Jersey. I taught the alternative high school there for a year and then decided that I needed to take my talents over to the West Coast. And my parents were actually so upset with me leaving that they encouraged me to take the first job offer that I received out here. And somehow, some way, Marina, California is where that first job offer came from. So
all roads lead to Marina.
All roads led to Marina. So I'm definitely glad to be here. And I was teaching phys ed in New Jersey, and now I'm primarily a classroom teacher. I teach a freshman leadership class, I teach a junior and senior leadership class, and I teach health to the entire freshman class here at Marina High School. So it's just kind of interesting how I ended up here and how I'm really content with my situation. And Miss Moreno is just as excited about teaching as I am. So we're really looking forward to sharing our experiences with you on a daily, bi-weekly, weekly basis.
So Mr. Terry and I, we have a large, huge group of students who we've taught over the years, who we're really looking forward to keeping in touch with through our 10 minutes of teacher time, as well as teachers we've worked with and friends who we've known all of our lives. So I hope you guys tune in. In this next little section, we're going to talk a little bit about some of our best moments as teachers. The district came in and filmed one of my classes while I was teaching, and one of the lady who came in from the district cried during my class because she was so moved about what the students and I were doing. And really, we were just describing height, hair color, and personality. But in the middle of the lesson, my students and I broke out into a song about the days of the week. And for some reason, she was so moved that she started crying. And that, to me, was like a really cool moment, because we as teachers, we do really fun things in our classrooms all the time, and other adults don't necessarily get to see it, which is another reason why Will and I wanted to have this 10 minutes of teacher time, which is to share our awesome things that we're doing in our classroom.
Definitely. I can't say that I've had moved anyone to tears yet in my class, but still working towards doing something that crazy. But today specifically, I just finished grading my my drugs and alcohol unit tests for my health class, and this is the first year that I've never had anyone score below a 90%. So I'm pretty content with over 110 freshmen receiving all A's on just a test. It may have been a small, short test, but it was pretty challenging, and they all exceeded very well. I would say since moving to California, this is my 3rd year here, some of my best moments have been recently. I'm a big advocate for 4-year colleges, and last year 3 of my students got the chance to attend a four-year college. I have one at San Jose State, one at Sacramento State, and I have another one at Cal State East Bay.
Yeah.
And I've been keeping in touch with all of them throughout the course of the last month and a half since they've graduated, and they just started classes, and they're actually keeping in touch with me pretty regularly via text. Sometimes they call me, and I'm actually proofreading one of my students' first college essays. He wrote a thesis on something in his first week of college, and he wanted me to proofread it. So just to see the progression from them being seniors last year to them graduating and attending a four-year school, it's been pretty awesome for me to witness that. I'm only a two-year teacher here in California, but to see these things happen already is amazing, and I'm definitely looking forward to this year's seniors doing bigger and better things as they move on to that next phase of life.
And you know, Mr. Terry, it's really cool because like when I was in college, I did not have anybody to proofread my papers. So like, for example, my friends would be sending their essays home to like their moms and dads to like proofread and whatnot, and I had to do that all on my own. I mean, I got like some help in the writing center. Holler to the SLC, UC Berkeley, what's up? And so I got a lot of help there, but like, because I was the first person in my entire Puerto Rican family to go to college, I really had like myself, you know what I'm saying? So it's cool that you're giving your students that extra help while they're at college. You're still assisting them, and that's really where that mentorship comes in. I always tell my students, and that young lady who I mentioned earlier, that I always ask them, who are your mentors? Who are those adults in your life who are not in your family, who you go to when you need help, when you need something? For example, my senior year of high school, my family, we didn't have enough money to get my my yearbook. So I was sitting in my counselor's office, Malcolm Colvin, and he was like, what's up? And I was just like, I'm really bummed out because I'm not going to be able to afford my senior yearbook. And my mentor right then and there wrote me a check for $45 to buy my senior class yearbook. Wow. And I went home that day and I told my mom about it, and my mom broke down in tears because she was so thankful, but at the same time she felt like, she was a little bit embarrassed at the same time. She worked so hard to just put the basics, food on table, clothes on our backs, but it was because of my mentor that I have my senior class yearbook. And so months later, when my mom could save up enough money, she gave me that check, wrote a check back to Malcolm Colvin so that we could pay him back. And when I went to his office to give him that check, he started crying because he was like, I did not expect you to come back and pay me back. Like, this means the world to me. And so it's like that circle, right? It takes a community to raise to raise kids, to raise us. And so yeah, that's really cool that you read your old students' essays. That's awesome.
Definitely. I think that's awesome. And just to piggyback off of that whole idea of, giving back, I always treat my friends with, a lot of respect. If I have something, they're always entitled to it, whether I want to give it to them or not. I feel like they would do the same for me. And my journey as a classroom teacher, I feel like every day, not only do I get to see the fruits of my labor, but I learn something different. And, I always stress upon my kids that learning is a lifelong process.
Yes.
And, I realize Val and I are both extremely fortunate to have attended four-year schools, to finish in an adequate amount of time, and to have this amount of knowledge. And I feel like it would be selfish, especially since we're teachers, for us to withhold any knowledge to anyone, especially our students. So, if there's something that I know that I can help my kids with, learning is really for life. So even if they graduate, if they're trying to do something that I've already done, I can assist them with in some type of way. And every day, there's too many things for us to really, account for that happen, that we do help these kids with, that we may not even know we're helping them with. But I just want to make sure that, we can definitely give as much knowledge as possible to assist them every day. If they're doing something that they need help with, we're not going to be selfish with what we already know that they may need to know or need help with.
Yeah, so just in case you guys were wondering, on a side note, why Mr. Terry and I are dressed so casually today, I don't know,
casual.
I got a little bit self-conscious about that for a minute, even though I'm representing for Santa Barbara here. Woo-woo. Today's pajama day, it's homecoming, and so Mr. Terry and I were some of the only teachers who participated in homecoming, and I have like this really, like my robe on that I wear when I go home as my pajamas, but underneath, when I go to sleep, I just wear like workout clothes essentially. But both of us totally represented for the teachers in pajama day today. So just in case you were wondering.
Just in case you're wondering, this is not how we look on a daily basis.
No.
I'm wearing pajama pants, and my shirt is sponsored by Hanes. Shout out to Kohl's and my mom for helping me to shop there.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. But no, totally trying to support our Spirit Week, and this is our homecoming week. So,
yes.
I mean, if we're not going to support, we can't expect the kids to.
That's right. That's right. And that goes right back to like us as teachers in the classroom. The more hyped and excited about that we are about teaching and about our subjects and about our relationships with the kids, the more excited they're going to be to learn. And some kids take a little bit more motivation than others. Like, for example, I had 99% participation in one of my classes the other day, and I had one student, right, who was just like, I was like, come on, student A, like, let's do this. Like, I can't open up your brain and put the knowledge in for you. Like, you have to meet me halfway. Let's go. And he was like, and you know who you are if you're watching this right now. You know who you are. So anyway, every day is a blessing. Every day is a new day to, and kids got to know that. Maybe on Monday you didn't participate, but on Wednesday you can. Every day is a new day. Every day. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. That's what I tell my students.
Totally agree. Every day in my class we go on learning voyages. That's what I like to say.
Yeah.
And I totally love what Val's doing. I wish that you could see I wish we could do a panoramic view of their classroom because it is full of student work. So
we could just take this and go like this.
I feel like we should.
Okay, go for it. You want to do it? All right.
I'm going to totally look around, and as you can see, this is full of student work everywhere. Even on top of the light fixtures, there's student work. So there's no way we would finish this first video if I did not show you what her classroom looks like. It's fantastic.
Thank you, Mr. Jerry. I try to have a print-rich classroom since I'm teaching a language. Since I'm teaching Spanish, I like to have Spanish everywhere. I want the walls to be textbooks. I want students to see the work that they're doing in class, and I want them to see it after they do it. I make some corrections, and then I post it on the board, and I post it on the wall. Every day in my classroom, we do this thing called En la Catch. We say this poem called En la Catch. I don't know if you can see it. There it is. Tú eres mi otro yo, si te hago daño a ti, me hago daño a mí mismo. Si te amo y respeto, me amo y respeto yo. Which is, En la Catch is a Mayan philosophy. This poem comes right out of the movement that's happening right now in Arizona in public education. And so I keep that movement alive in my classroom by saying En la Catch every day and reminding students that if they treat one another as extensions of themselves, imagine how beautiful the world could be. And so that's how we start off class every day. And when we're having like issues in the classroom, I always relate it back to En la Catch. But yeah, on that note, I like to have my classroom print rich so that students are going to space out. They're going to space out on something that they can learn from. Students don't really space out in my class because they're always so busy, but people have their days. So, all right, Mr. Terry.
All right, well, I think we're going to get ready to wrap this up. Thank you for joining us on, the beginning of our journey as teachers, encompassing what we do on almost a daily basis. And hopefully next time we look forward to seeing you again, which will probably be in my classroom, and I'll give you a panoramic view of what I've got going on.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining in our almost 10 minutes of teacher time. We've had so much fun talking to you and sharing with you, how we became teachers and our journey that led us here. And we look forward to seeing you next time. Please leave some comments in the space below.
Please.
We'd love to hear from you. If you have any questions, like if you ever wanted to ask a teacher something, as long as it's school appropriate, we'll talk about it. All right. So thank you so much and have an awesome Monday.
Take care, guys.
Bye.